This is Unofficially Official. I'm Star Miller, and
I'm Mayor Mike.
we want to welcome you to our podcast where we fully intend to educate you on all things local. Welcome to our first podcast. Very exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting.
Yes. Should we introduce ourselves? I feel like we do have an intro, but I feel like I should. I'm Star Miller. I'm here with Mayor Mike Pavey.
Yes.
That sounds vaguely familiar, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It does.
We have done this before, but not in this arena.
Right. Right.
So this is new to us, but we're excited to do it. Earlier, I told John McCain and family down here in the meeting room that our intro was going to be, we're celebrating, this is our longest lasting relationship of all time. You and I both. It's true, I think.
That's true. That's funny.
Because I think we met when you were not just, but you were on the city council.
Yeah, and I think you were
was
just out of school.
Yeah, out of high school. High school. And Mike was already doing adult things.
That's right.
That's the age gap.
That's right.
But we're excited to do this.
We
Should
are.
we tell the people why we are doing this? It's not to celebrate this
I think,
long-lasting relationship.
I think it's just to reconnect with the community and try to make sure that we communicate with them what we're doing.
And like we've said before, there are the platforms of social media, obviously, that everybody and their dad knows how to access, but there are other mediums to get the word out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a couple papers, one out of Greensburg, the other one out of kind of Franklin County, and they do a job, and they do the best they can.
Here, I'll say it. You can't. But they're not in our community, right?
Right. They're not actively
Right.
engaged in the community daily. So they do get information out. Social media is good, but it's usually quick hitting. And I don't know that anybody goes to Facebook or anything for hard hitting journalism. Usually it's a link to something.
And if you do, we bid you well.
Well, anymore, you can't figure out what's real and what's make believe anymore.
And
So-
also, too, like I said, there's so many platforms. There's not just one.
Yeah.
Remember the days of MySpace?
oh yeah, I mean,
Right.
anymore there's like a suite.
Yeah.
If you put something out, it's going to put out on multiple platforms, and I think that really it's been just an evolution of people saying, hey, somehow or another, the city or somebody at a responsible level has to figure out how to get things out to the community. And so we're doing a lot of different things right now.
Because the truth is, not everyone is on social media.
No, they're not on social media. They don't want to be on social
No, I'm
media.
in a drought right now, but I guess I should pick it up since we're going to do a podcast. We should
I-
advertise.
Well, I've kind of, as far as social media, just kind of stepped away for a while because I find that it makes me happier.
Right, the doom scrolling can get you.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. It's never ending. There's no end to the internet.
So yeah, this is kind of a conscious effort, and we're kind of doing it on a lot of different levels as far as the city goes. We just bought software that each employee will have a portal, so they can go get information from us.
That's nice.
In a more current way. And we're talking yesterday. We talked about community event calendar. So
Oh yeah, Kim mentioned that too.
yeah, so that different people know exactly what's going on in the community, and they can schedule and avoid schedules and conflicts and
What
all
I
that
said
stuff.
to Kim when she said that to me was, I just envisioned Jan Voiles at the newspaper saying to me, "I'm going to type out what's happening." Remember that?
Yeah,
that was the That was
right.
the OG community
Right.
calendar. Yeah.
So I think this is just an effort of, there's a lot of things happening. I mean, there really are. There's a lot of things happening, and a lot of them, we're excited that they're happening. Some of them that are happening more at the state level and pushed down to the local level, we're not very excited that they're happening. And so people are going to see different things roll out.
And this is a venue for you to discuss that as well. Yeah.
Right. And I think that if we can get this from the side that the people don't see, but from the backside, if we can get this regularly scheduled enough, we can have people like, Jim Jameson and the school corporation. We can have Diamond Pet Food. We can have
Michael Jordan. Oh wait, no.
Michael Jordan, not Michael Jordan.
I thought you had reach. Gosh, Mike,
Z
what are
at
you?
the community center. You can have a
Sure.
representative come in.
Similar to what we've done in the past.
Right. And I think that just widens the berth of the information that people are
Also,
able to get.
even though, I mean, obviously in radio or podcast, you can't see us and we can't see you. I think it does personalize it when we have other voices come in.
Well, I think that, and I think you see it all the time in, I will say, here's what I'm doing. and then it will be conveyed through the old phone, the old telephone
That's
game.
right.
And by the time it gets out to the general public will say, I can't believe he said that. And then I hear it and I go, I didn't say that.
Right, right.
And so I think it's important for me to make sure that what we're doing comes from my mouth and people hear what we're doing. And some of the times that news is going to be amazingly fun and exciting. Sometimes it's not going to be so much fun and exciting. And I think that people need to understand that why we're doing it, what's motivating it. And I think a lot of times Kyle and I deal with stuff every single day that it's not our choice that we're doing it. It's somebody else's choice that says you're going to do it.
Everyone has someone to answer to.
Right.
I mean, so do you. And your job has, I'm sure, not so fun days and decisions that have to be made just like anyone else's. But
yeah, I've told people that the year 2025, getting ready for 2026, by far, probably 5 times worse than any year ever I've experienced in my 14 years. And
you mean just with the municipality as a whole, or the budgets, or
all of that, all of it affected by, those at a higher level, whether it be federal or whether it be state, make decisions. And I don't think people on a normal year, people don't really feel that impact because they changed a little bit here, they changed a little bit here.
And sometimes even a big change, it takes a minute for it to be felt at the bottom line, don't you think?
Right.
Yeah.
And this last administrative change, some of it at the federal, and you saw Doge and you saw all those things, you saw the shutdown, and people don't know how much that impacts us. And then you roll the state coming in and saying, hey, I got this neat idea. And all of a sudden it can really catastrophically affect what you're doing. And so, like I say, I think the general person off the street says, what's the big deal?
Or
and I
this
think
is
this
what
is,
I have been told.
Yeah, and this
Right?
is our platform to say, well, this is why.
Right.
This is what happens. This is so.
Because despite what some folks may think of you, and I'm obviously biased, but
oh my gosh!
no, I'm just saying that you are open to communicate all sides of it. I feel like you've always been that way. And if somebody were to come to you after a decision is made or is being actively made and wanted to air their disdain for it, you're always down to listen.
Oh yeah,
and also to take that into account when decisions are being made.
Well, I think the background between you and I is interesting because I fundamentally would say
He's a Republican.
I'm a Republican
And Catholic.
I am.
I'm sorry.
and I would say more on the conservative when it comes to financial. My son would say, but Dad, I think your social matters is more liberal than conservative. So there's your feedback from a kid in college and what he
The
understands.
youngs, they know things.
But your background is Democratic, very liberal.
Very liberal.
And I think that's okay. And if you look at the people I've surrounded myself with, they're not all like people, and so that's okay. So I think that.
But also, this is a perfect living example of you and I have radically different opinions on a million things.
Some of my best friends and I
Right.
do have that exact thing.
But 10 times out of 10, you will either just make fun of me and we will laugh, or you'll go, that's all a lie. I'll tell him I'm reading a book about, that's all a lie. She lies.
But I think that's what makes a person well-rounded is to like my son, and it's kind of fun to hear innocent, naive kids say stuff. And one of the times we were talking about a friend that we both have in common, and the friend would be a Democrat who's super liberal. And my son said, Dad, how are you friends with him? And I said, we just avoid those topics.
Right,
I mean,
exactly, yes.
There have been times when we're both in not so good of moods that we'll argue about it, and then we walk away and it's like, I'm not changing his mind, he's not changing mine, so let's just take that topic and set it over here, because the other 95% of the topics we talk about, quite honestly, we agree. I always say in this office here, Ann Copley is much more conservative than Mike Pavey, and Ann Copley has been a Democratic elected official
That's right.
forever.
Yeah.
So I think that people get caught up in all that, and I think it's important for
And also,
people.
Ann Copley will not ever speak up for politics, right? I mean,
Yeah.
she has, there are people who just don't speak about their politics,
Right.
friends, in case
Right.
you're wondering, that is an option.
So I think
always out there.
those are the things that are important, is just to talk about stuff and talk about them in the fact that I don't think I mean, I think there will be topics that are Democrat, Republican, but for the most
But
part,
I think
they're
for the
just
most part, I
topics.
think you just feel, because we haven't had a radio show, you haven't had the outlet,
Right.
the more of a personal kind of one-on-one outlet to tell the people what you're doing.
Right.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah, and I like to say Kyle is here. He's
Kyle's
running the board.
He's our silent partner,
Kyle is
mixologist, DJ.
Kyle is the
Renee.
guy who kind of does the social media posts. And keep in mind, he's not a.
He does a great job.
He does do a great job.
I mean, I am the grammar police. You do a great job.
but keep in mind, Kyle is not a journalism major.
No.
And he is not a news
Broadcast
source.
journalist.
Yeah.
He sits at this board with all the
Keyboard.
levers.
So he's out there doing the best he can to provide snippets of information so people feel in touch. But for that person, the Tim Heller or whoever who says, "Man, I want to dig deeper," they're not going to have enough data in those little social media snippets. And so maybe
I hate
this is
that
a
part of social media. That's the
maybe
part that
this
kills
is a
me.
way that says, if we need to dig deeper into a topic so people understand it, we dig deeper into a topic so people understand it. And
if
they may
they're-
not agree.
If there are two people talking about a topic and that's all, but if there's 200 people concerned about something, also that way lays differently,
Right.
Don't you think?
Absolutely. I definitely think. I think you're going to have, and again, you're hearing kind of the dirty truth from Mike Pavey, is you're going to have
is he
15
renaming this podcast?
50, yeah. You're going to have 15% of the people who just don't like anything you do. If I gave
Correct.
everybody a lottery ticket today, 15% of them would give me a reason why they weren't happy about it. What you got to pay attention to is whenever the complaint comes from someone outside of that 15%, then you go, uh-oh.
Right.
And so then you have to go, okay, now I got to take a step back and figure out.
Because otherwise you're not a good leader of any variety, right?
So that's kind of like say I kind of enjoy. I mean, I am a kind of a little bit of a paradox in that when I'm working on stuff, I'm an introvert.
I knew you were, yeah.
I dig into it, and
you don't walk into a room and take up the whole space and be loud and yeah.
I am not the guy that walks in and looks like Will Ferrell saying, "Hey guys, here we go." That is not me. But I do. I love engaging people. I love teaching people of, guys, this is what we're doing, and here's why we're doing it, and here's the pluses and the minuses, and we've thought through it, and this one gives us a few more pluses, and
Yeah.
so that's the fun part.
Not
of
to
what I do.
interrupt you, but I do think that that's something that people may not know about you, that you, by the time you've made a decision, it's not even really you making the decision. You've spoken to your department heads, you've spoken to your departments, the employees. I mean, you've spoken to your advisors and people around you. It's not a decision that's made off the cuff, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I would agree, and I think
I was
that,
hoping you would, because I was really leaning into my compliment.
I was leaning into that one hard. So yeah, that's why I'm excited to come back and have conversations about a lot of things that you'll say, ugh, whether it be stormwater utility, wheel taxes, trash
People
fees,
don't get excited about the health insurance.
health insurance, the school
Taxes,
system,
the
how
school
all this, the county government, which
Housing.
my guy to my left is county government, which Kyle, budgets. That's another thing that everybody needs to understand what's happening there, and then how that impacts the departments that provide them services. So you're going to get a wide berth. Some of these programs are going to be very, very business-like and very much of, hey, you're sitting in a city meeting, or some of them
Doesn't
are just
that
going to be,
sound great, friends? Please tune in. Would you like to buy advertisement? Come on, sell it.
but some of it's just going to be goofy fun.
And we should say also that, I mean, we're allowing ourselves the space to expand and change however we want to do it. We'll have people come in. We'll have days where it's just you and I.
Yep.
We'd love to do call in now, but that's not the day and age that we
Yeah.
live in, so we're not doing that. But we welcome everybody. We're excited, and we will take this platform and share it onto other platforms that the city is involved in.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
We did want to mention to our listeners, even though we may not have any yet, that you can communicate with us here at the podcast, meaning you can ask questions, you can gripe, although I don't recommend it, but you can. If you have concerns about something, or if you have questions about something.
Or if you just want to know more about a topic.
Right, exactly. We really, honestly, I mean, please don't email us and be ridiculous, but because I am going to receive these emails, and I am not the mayor, and I do not have to be PC. Okay, the email that you want to use is unofficiallyofficialpod@gmail.com. So it's the name of our podcast, plus the word pod at gmail.com. Kyle says he's going to check this religiously. So, but we are excited to have the input, because it does make what we're trying to do. We're not trying to just sit down, you and I, and talk about our politics or talk about what's going on with the city and agree with one another and go on our happy ways. We're trying to build a community, because I will say this. I mean, like, losing a newspaper in a small town like ours, that's a big chunk. Just like a small rural community loses their county school. It changes everything, right?
Sure.
So not having a newspaper here now, I think, is a detriment. So I think this is a good space for for the city as a whole to be able to communicate with one another.
When I think the best communication is an exchange back and forth.
I do too. Right. Otherwise, it's just someone's listening to you drone on about nothing.
So the best way for somebody to ask a question or give a concern or whatever is right now.
Just stop Mike at the Mexican restaurant and have his personal cell phone number.
Yeah, thank you. Would be to go through this Gmail account and send something to you, and then maybe that way we can maybe design another podcast in the future to address what you're asking.
Well, and it helps us too to kind of, if we have more clear topics to talk about that people want to hear about, rather than just drone on and on about nothing.
Yeah,
although we are two very interesting people, I'm sure people will still tune in. But we're excited about this. So you can email us at unofficiallyofficialpod@gmail.com. That wraps up this episode of Unofficially Official. We thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed today's episode, you can subscribe to our show on your streaming platform of choice.